Michelle Ceglia, hair department head of Dexter. I've been here for 6 seasons. We're in the final season now, just at the end of filming the series finale. And it's been a wild, crazy, fun, sometimes very stressful ride. This season, we've already said goodbye to a bunch of cast members, and it's just everyone's, you know, been a little emotional and stuff. So, but it's going to be a great season to go out on. Of course, there's going to be surprises and blood, and that's your department.
Hi, I'm Keith Hall. I'm the makeup department head for Dexter. I've been here since the beginning, 8 seasons, and to quote the Grateful Dead, what a long, strange trip it's been. And now we're wrapping it up, and it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, we're gonna miss all these characters and the show, but at the same time, we're finishing the show on a high note. Our ratings are higher than they've ever been, and our fan base is bigger than it's ever been. So we're really proud of the fact that we're going out on top, and we're really excited about how season 8 plays out and how the audience responds to it and enjoys it.
Ending season 4 and going into season 5 was the craziest thing ever, because we were picking up exactly where we left off with Rita in the bathtub, and everyone was supposed to look the same. And there was drama with whose hair was really long and who cut their hair off and who didn't have any hair. So that was a feat to try and get everyone to look like they looked at exactly that moment, you know, 7 months before. Yeah, that was the most stressful thing for me, was going into season 5 with wigs and hair pieces and, you know, doing all this stuff to everyone that they've never had to have done before.
There's just been so many interesting moments with all the prosthetics that we've created for the show. I think one of the most memorable ones was the victims of the Skinner character. I think that was in season 3, where we had a killer that skinned people alive, and so we had a real challenge on our hands to sort of recreate that sort of skinned body effect. And as he continued to kill, the victims got more and more skinned out. So at some point we had people that were almost completely skinned, and that was a real fun and challenging makeup to pull off. But we did, and we're really proud of it at the end. And I think that's one of the makeups that stands out the most, but there's just been so many, and chopped off heads and limbs, and you know, I remember, I think it might have been in season 1 or 2, we had Dexter literally in a room full of blood, where we had blood coming down the walls and people are wading in blood, you know, foot deep, and I remember that being just a really stressful day with continuity, because Dexter goes in and out of the blood room, and then when we would go in for last looks, it was hilarious because we come out and we were completely covered in blood as well. So, but there's just been it's just been a really interesting 8 seasons with regard to all the blood and guts that we've had on this show.
Yeah, and you're not really working on the show until you're christened in blood, and it's like, oh, my shoes are ruined, and oh, this shirt, okay, well, we all have blood-stained clothes and shoes, but you're not really part of the show unless it's happened to you a million times.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's like being christened.
It's funny, I have a whole wardrobe now that's completely blood-stained that I'll take away from the show as well, and wear and be reminded constantly of the pants, shirts, and shoes
Sweet
that are
memories.
Permanently stained with blood.
Yeah.
When I decided to do the show, and I kind of saw what we were getting into with regard to special effects makeup, and my background being able to do both, I had decided that as much as we could, we wouldn't farm any of those things out, and we'd try to do as much as we could in-house, and pretty much stuck to that. And I've got this amazing group of friends who are some of the most talented effects people in Hollywood, that they come out and work with us on our busy days and days we're doing on-set applications of a lot of this stuff. But we do as much sculpting, molding, and creation of these prosthetics in-house as we can. And we've really never been a show that farmed out our work to the shops like most shows do. And I'm really, really proud of that. It just adds a lot more to our days, and it adds a little bit more to the stress, but at the end of the day, it helps me retain control of the look of the show with regard to the makeup and the design of all of these things, and sort of being able to realize it from being inside of my head to what we see on set. I know the producers appreciate that too, because then I can speak to them and let them know exactly what they're going to see and how it's going to play out and stuff like that, and then there's no surprises when we come and do it on set. So that's been a big thing that we're really proud of on this show.
My favorite moment for me on the show that I'm probably most proud of is in season 5, when I had to wig Michael to look exactly like himself and Dexter for a whole underwater pool scene, and this beautiful shot of like sort of red sun and almost looking like blood behind him, and his hair sort of not hair, acting as if it was really just him in the pool, which is stuff people definitely don't know. All the wig stuff from season 5, because that was post.
And she did some amazing work in season 5 that's seamless with regard to Michael's hair and all the wigs and things like that that were involved in that season. I mean, even our own people behind the scenes here couldn't tell and didn't know which was which, and that's a testament to her abilities as a hairdresser, you know, to pull that off consistently. And not only here in LA, but when we were on location in Florida and all the different types of atmospheric conditions that we were subjecting all the wigs to down there. So it was an amazing feat. That was the
crazy stuff for me. And saving Julie Benz's hair from the bloody tub.
Oh yeah, that's
so she didn't come out a hot pink mess.
It's almost every day that I'm on this show, I find something that we do in the trailer that I'm really proud of. I think the fact that we're able to pull all this off on a daily basis and not fall apart for 8 seasons, I'm probably most proud of that. But if I had to single it out to one specific makeup, I think I'd have to go back to the beginning, and when I designed Michael's actual look with his tan and all the subtleties that were involved in making him look like he had a sort of a Miami tan, but at the same time not so much because of his character in it. There's a lot more behind that look than meets the eye, and I think when I finally was able to, through makeup testing and whatnot, pull that off to the satisfaction of Michael and the producers, I think I was probably most proud of that if I had to single out one moment on the show. So I'd like to say thank you to all the makeup artists who have come out and worked with us in the past 8 years. I mean, we've had literally pretty much everybody who's anybody come out and work on this show at one time or another. Just the cream of the crop of the most talented folks in Hollywood, and we couldn't have done it without all their help. And so I just want to give a big thank you to all of those guys, and special thanks to my keys that I've had. Jay Wajibi was my first key, then Luis Garcia, then Gabriel DeCunto, and now Michelle Ceglia. And again, I couldn't have done this show for the last 8 seasons without all the help and support of those guys. So I just wanted to say thanks.
Also, thank you to all the hairdressers that helped me through the years, and big thank you to Bob Crutchner, who has made the wigs that I was able to pull off insane feats with. And giant thank you to you, Keith, who brought me on the show to begin with and gave me a whole big awesome present of this to work with and grow and live with incredible people every day in a tiny space.
Well, and you know, to finish on that note, I have to say thank you to Michelle, because we had a pretty much revolving door of hairdressers on this show until she was out here visiting a friend, and I said, hey, you want to stop by the set of Dexter? And there's a little subterfuge going because I'd already decided in my head that I was going to offer her the job and throw her right into the deep end of the swimming pool on a really big hit show. And man, oh man, has she risen to the occasion. And so I'm really, really proud of the fact that Michelle's here, and I'm grateful for all her hard work and efforts in the past 6 seasons. It's been amazing.
He literally brought me on, sorry, and was like, well, you need to meet Michael first or whatever. I was like, okay. So I go, he introduced me to Michael. He's like, okay, this is the new hairdresser who's starting Monday. This is like Friday. And we were ending episode 1 and just going into episode 2. So anyway, it was crazy.
Yeah, I definitely threw her
really
into the deep into the pool.
Awesome. Yeah, thank God I swam somehow.
Yeah. Every season we go down to Miami for a week or so and do establishing shots with Michael. And this is the first season in a long time we didn't go because of the way the season was going and everything like that, and then what they were going to do with regard to the plots. And I missed it. So I missed my little vacation in Miami, and so as soon as we're done, that's going to be my sort of wrap up for this, is to go sit on the beach in South Beach where Dexter really takes place and just sort of like soak it all up and sort of then let it all go.
Never worked with such a more professional, friendlier, on top of it crew ever again in my life. We love you!